It's currently like fucking 6:08 a.m. Like, I don't want to be awake at this time. It's Sunday, bro, alright? People shouldn't be awake this early on Sunday, my nigga. But at the same time, I guess, I told myself I wanted to record another video for the channel for a minute. I figured I'd start recording now, so like I feel like I'm kind of obligated to finish the video now. Anyway, I'll see you outside.
Man, like, we all showered together.
Were y'all naked driving?
No.
I wonder how it feels if, like, when you're driving a car. Like, do you sit on your balls when you drive and shit like that naked?
Nah, you don't sit on your balls. They're just, like, they're in front of your legs. It's just kind of like... But regardless, I was not naked. So,
y'all don't just
Like,
be
well,
walking
from when
around.
I was driving naked, I wasn't sitting on my balls. Yeah, finish. So, yeah, content. So, we got the shower.
Josh is really into the juicy part, so let's continue.
it was, like, a bit of a sensory overload. I was like, yo, is this really about to happen? I'm really about to have, like, my first, like, threesome.
It's a little, like the thing about the white balance. Hold on, is this shit not auto-focusing? Are we dead ass? There we go. There we fucking go. That's what I've been waiting for, bro. The white balance is a little, like, it's blue. Like, it's very blue and, like, purpley, but I like it. Like, I feel like it's way better than just, like, the traditional, like, yellow-orange when it's morning time. But, yeah, so I had, like, this whole idea planned out of me coming outside to talk. And then when I get outside, that's when I start drawing blanks and shit. Like, I don't know what to do with myself anymore. Especially because, like, recording videos like these is always weird. Because, like, you're outside just talking to a camera. But then, like, the more you talk, like I'm trying to do now, then the better you get at it. And then you eventually forget that you're fucking outside around other people that are just staring at this random tall dude with the fucking camera that's talking into a camera, pacing back and forth. I guess the topic today is knowledge. It's really weird because I feel like we live in a generation where everyone wants to be right and correct, which isn't bad. It's not bad that everyone wants to be right or correct. It's good. Like, you know, like accuracy and like fucking wanting to be like, oh yeah, well, like, let me make sure I'm right about this. But then, like, also it's not really, let me make sure I'm right about this. It's more just like, well, this is how I see it, and that's the only right way of seeing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like perspective doesn't really matter anymore. The only thing that matters is that one perspective that everyone agrees, or everyone is trying to agree based on like an agenda that this is like morally correct, you know? Like, morality is such a big thing with people nowadays, but I feel like morality with human beings is such a great thing. Like, morality to me might not be morality to you. You get what I'm saying? Like, some people, morality is like, I didn't kill anybody, so like I'm a moral person. And then morality for someone else can be like, fucking, I don't know. Like, occasionally I donate to fucking charity, so that's moral and that's right. I need to readjust this, bro. This shit's pissing me off. Like, I can't fucking... See, like, you know, like how people do like these journal videos, but then like they make them like really like cinematography appealing. Like, you know, they make them really like fucking cinematic and shit, and they pick all these specific angles. Like, I couldn't do it because I know I'm so specific about shit that if I were to do that, I would never get a video done. What was the point of what I was saying? I had a U.S. history teacher, and she would talk a lot of like, she just had like these really strong opinions. Whether they're political or like morality, like whatever it was, she had these really strong opinions. And one time she made us write this research paper about Jeff Bezos, and she pretty much like asked us if we feel like he should share his money with the world. And now that I think about it, it was like a U.S. history, but it was like a branch of like economics. So like we were learning about money and shit, but we weren't really learning about money. We were really learning about money from a political standpoint, from her political standpoint. And like I didn't really think about that over like as much at the time, but like now that I'm a little older, I get that. But yeah, so she asked us this question, and I answered the question, and I said, nah, I don't think he owes us shit. And she was like really upset about the fact that I said, like, she was really bothered by that, because I guess she expected like, okay, black kid, probably like Black Lives Matter, like that's the assumption, like, oh, he's Black Lives Matter, like he's for the, and she was a white lady, by the way, which is kind of ironic. And I don't hate her, like she's a cool lady, she's a cool person. Just, I feel like personality wise, although it never happened like outwardly, I feel like we would clash a lot. Or like I would clash a lot with like how I view, like our ideals clashed a lot, whether she realized it or not. When I gave her my opinion on Jeff Bezos, I said he don't owe none of this. He don't owe niggas shit. Like he don't owe any of us anything. He earned his money, however he earned his money. I don't care how he earned his money. He don't owe it to nobody. Like I don't believe in sharing is caring. It's cool if you want to do something, but he don't owe nobody any. Like bro, it don't matter if one person has all the resources or $9 billion. If they want to keep that shit to themselves, that's their right. If they earned it, if they work for that shit, that's their right. I said that, and then she commented on it and was like, I get what you're saying, but like, this is just ridiculous. Like, no, like that's not right. Because I'm like, bro, this question literally says, in your opinion, like it was like explicitly clear. It wasn't being graded. It said, in your opinion. It didn't say, what's the right answer? What's the answer I want to hear? It said, in your opinion, what the fuck do you think Jeff Bezos should do with his money? And I said, that nigga should keep his shit if he wants to keep his shit, or give it away if he wants to give it away. He should be allowed to decide what he decides to do with his money. And she said, nah, fuck you. He should give it away. It's like, why the fuck did you ask for my opinion then? You get what I'm saying? It's like, I feel like a lot of people have these one-dimensional, one-sided conversations all the time. And it's like no one's listening because somebody wants to be right. That's what I guess was in my head that I've been trying to get out all day, that I just can't come out the right way, bro. Like every time I try to say that, it just doesn't come out the right way. Or like I'm not like, you know, but yeah, that's an interesting example that came up that made me think about that.
I don't know if I can go to a new beach with my friends.
No, that honestly no.
That's crazy.
No, that's crazy.
I don't know if I want to. I don't know.
I fuck with y'all. I don't want to know y'all like that. I think it's interesting because like I have friends, and like I don't use that term loosely, right? I don't just call anyone my friend. I know there's people that like fucking have one conversation with someone in Coney Island, and they fucking like, yo, that's their bestie now. Like, nah, nigga. I need time. I need time to be cool with people. I need time to get to know you. I need time to like, you know. Speaking of, I need time. I have a story about that, but I'm gonna get to that later. But basically, I have a lot of different friends that have or live different lifestyles that are very different in how they are compared to me. Like, you know, like if you look at me, what am I? I'm awkward. I'm very direct in my speech. I can be very black and white, very stubborn, very idealistic. Like I'm so many different things. And I think a lot, like, but not like in the sense of like I overthink because I have anxiety. I overthink more because like I like to critique the fuck out of things until I get like the one true thing, which is kind of ironic that I'm making a video about how people always want to be right. And then I'm saying I want to get to the one true thing. I guess though with me, when I want that one true thing, I can accept and understand that it's probably going to be a very long time before I find whatever that one true thing is. Versus there are some people that get an idea, get a political stance, get an opinion, and that's their whole identity. That's all they are, and they fucking like cling and latch onto that shit like this is 100% the truth. It's like, nigga, you just turned 16 yesterday. And I'm probably gonna play some clips of it, like me and my man's Rose. We're having pretty much a conversation. He was telling me about his experience at a nude beach. Now, you would never catch me ever at a nude beach. But he was telling me his experience with it. And you know, like there's some people that like, I feel like they would hear that and be like, oh, you know, like if they're a certain type of way or they have certain political or religious beliefs, be like, oh, well, that's so fucking this and that. But like we had a genuine conversation about we're two different people, two different experiences with life. We had a genuine conversation about it, and I was actually genuinely intrigued to hear his perspective. I'm a grower, so I get it, bro.
Exactly. So it's like if you go,
Grower struggles, bro.
Yeah, I'm also a grower too.
if you're going and you're completely soft, it's like, damn, I don't want to give people the wrong idea. I don't want to give this girl the wrong idea. But at the same time, if I go fully bricked up, I'm a weirdo.
It's like, why is he? But it's like, it's a nude beach. Like, what do you want me
Especially
to do?
with niggas, bro. Like, come on. Like, you're going to see a lot of boners, like,
Yeah.
just walking around and shit.
That's
damn, nigga.
Because, like, despite how grounded and how rigid I am in my beliefs, I like to hear other people's. Because it helps me not only kind of reassess my own beliefs and like either double down or maybe consider changing them, or it just it broadens my perspective. and I like that.
Most people at the nude beach were pretty chill. If you did see a dude with like a full-on boner, you'd be like, that's kind of weird. Like, why
How?
are you? Because it's like everyone else is chilling, but there's just this one dude who's like rock hard and like just walking around.
Bro, if I'm seeing breasts, nigga,
I feel like there's too much dick at places like that. That like for me, like I'm like, nah, they gotta be like a good.
what's the
Nah, they
ratio?
gotta be. Yeah.
I'd say it was a decent ratio, but it's just like the people that go to the nude beach aren't always the most like attractive. So it's
Yeah,
like,
right, I
you're
would
seeing,
imagine, like-
yeah, you're seeing like breasts and stuff, but it's like it's not gonna do anything. Because also, here's another thing: like once you really stop sexualizing women just on appearance alone, you kind of just life gets better. So
Right.
like I can go to a nude beach and not like be bricked up by seeing tits. Because it's like they're not breasts that like I'm going to interact with. Like it's not
Right.
that's not somebody that I'm like intimate with.
But yeah, he was telling me about his experience on a nude beach, and that was like so interesting and so weird to me because I'm like again, like you wouldn't ever catch me on one of these things. But like when he's telling me like how he just fucking like I'm gonna play the story, but when he's telling me how it happened and how it went down and like what he was doing, I'm just like, damn, like. Like I couldn't see myself in a situation like that.
But regardless, so yeah, so I get myself like at a decent state, and then I go to the beach and I'm waiting.
Can I ask it? Wait, can we go backwards? So wait, you came to the nude beach and you just showed up in uniform and like niggas is chilling, like you was chilling waiting for them?
Yeah.
Nah, bro, I fuck with like
Well,
I have
for
a lot of
4
respect for
hours?
you because I got a lot of respect for you because I'm like, damn, bro, I'm not gonna lie, like I don't think I could do that. Like, he just walked up, he's like, hey, I'm part of the group.
Are you guys
That
really
was, hey,
nude
what's
beach
up?
with,
Hey,
like,
the dress
y'all's
code is
friends?
naked. I'm here. Knowledge and friends. Friends, that was the main thing, right? The thing about friends is, I think so many people get so caught up in the idea that if you don't agree with somebody on every single point, if you don't agree with a friend on every single point, they're not really your friend, they're not really your people, and that's it. And I hate that. I hate that because like a lot of my friends and a lot of people I'm really close with, we live very different lifestyles. So it's like, when I see that, I just think to myself, like, how closed-minded can you be to think that you're so superior and morally right that someone offers you a different perspective? And I'm not saying you have to take it, but you can at least be like, okay, that's how they view it. This is how I view it. I'm certain in my beliefs, so I don't feel the need to change to satisfy this person. And they're, vice versa. That's how it should be. But I feel like people here are different in opinion, and then like they fucking get so fucking angry and shit, and it's like they want to fucking tweet about how bad it was or post all these Instagram stories about, oh, fuck this person. Like when people hear Andrew Tate or like another like or a feminist or like like just like if I'm thinking like the extremes, like people hear different opinions, or like you hear an opinion on like something that Donald Trump says or something that Joe Biden says, and like you hear something that someone says and then say like you're really a hard supporter of this person, and then they say something that you disagree with, and it's like, oh, well, fuck this person now because they have this opinion that I disagree on. It's like, no. Like, we're all human beings. We're all different. Wouldn't it be fucking weird? Yo, there's a fucking bee here. I'm not a fan of bees. I don't hate them, but I don't like them either. Okay, he's gone. Wouldn't it be weird if every person, every thought, every like opinion you had, someone else completely agreed with? That'd be weird, bro. And I don't think I want a world like that. I think I like the fact that everyone is so different.
As we're walking around like more, like we walk past this tent with like these like chill ass like black people. They're like probably in like their 30s, late 20s.
And they're naked too.
Yeah, of course they're naked. And so they have a tent and they're like, come into our tent. I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. And they're like, you want some lick, like some weed, like, and they just like gave us like alcohol and like we were smoking with them and they were chill as fuck.
So yeah, like some of my closest friends are very different to me, like personality wise. Now, what we agree on and where we end up like getting along at is values. Values in relationships, values in how we view like loyalty and like things like that. That's when we bond. That's when we get along, bro. Values, because like it don't matter if we see the world or we live different lives or we behave different ways. If our values don't align, then I don't give a fuck how similar you are to me. Fuck you. like not fuck you like you're a piece of shit, but like I can't see myself being in like calling you a friend. Because again, like I said, when I call someone a friend, like I take that very seriously. If I call you a friend, I think of you more as a brother than just a friend. Because like a friend, Like, there's no point in having a friend when you can have an acquaintance. There's no point in calling you a friend if I can't call you closer to a brother, or if we're not like working towards that.
And the first thing that she does is like just give me like a really tight hug. And mind you, we're butt ass naked. I still don't know her first name. I'm like, is this allowed? Some people are like drinking, smoking, just having a good time. I guess like at this point, the girl I was with was like getting like a little jealous. So like she just straight up like grabs my dick and like just starts like low-key like stroking it like when like no like while I'm having this conversation and I'm like, oh my god, what's happening?
Wait, while people are in the tent with you?
Yes. Because everyone's drunk and high. Like, no one gives a fuck.
Right.
Everyone's drunk and high. Everyone's naked. Like, it's whatever. Then we fuck. Because low-key Mean Girl was, like, insane. But she...
Yeah. I would imagine it's pretty insane, bro.
There was this one person, like I was on a shoot recently with my boy. At this shoot, there was this dude, like he was a model, but he was there. And he wasn't modeling in the shoot. He wasn't like an actor or anything. He was just there because he was like acquainted with one of my friends there. And like, he just has these really weird things about him, right? Like he has these really, to me, it's like really weird. Like my first impression of him is him walking up to me and putting like this shit like in my face. And like, I didn't know what the fuck this meant, bro. Like this is some like, I guess like some meme shit, but he put that shit in my face. That wasn't a gang sign, by the way. Gotta clarify. But he put that shit in my face and I thought he was like trying to dap me up. So like I tried to dap him up. He's like, no, I'm not trying to dap you up. I was like first of all, I'm like, yo, like this nigga mad aggressive, but all right, cool. Like what's up? Like what is that? He was like, yeah, it's P. Like you ever seen P? He's like, for penis. And now I'm thinking like, okay, that I don't know what his vibe is or how he's trying to come off. I'm taking that as disrespect, but I don't know him enough to just automatically jump to like, yo, what the fuck does that mean, bro? Like, you know, I'm not gonna get super rowdy and in his face yet, because I don't know what's wrong with him. That's how I'm seeing it. So I'm just like, now I'm just kind of sitting there like, you know, looking at him like, what are you talking about? And then like he just like, he goes into, he's like, oh yeah, you never seen that meme where like you know, they put like the P and he's like trying to explain it to me, but I'm still not getting it. Cause like, again, right away I realized like, yeah, me and this guy are very different. When I'm doing a shoot, I'm very like black and white, bro. Like I'm very like, yo, this has to be done, this has to be done, this has to be done. I don't really give a fuck about anything else. We could crack the occasional joke, but at the end of the day, the work has to get done first before we could fucking sit and chat and shoot the shit. Like, especially if you're a random, bro. Look, unless like you good vibes and like I like immediately like click with you, that's a little different. But if I don't, damn, it got dark. Like this sun is getting covered by the clouds. If I'm not clicking with you right away, bro, then like it's slow. It's like really slow for that. Like I could care less about trying to fucking be your friend and shit. Long story short, to save us time, we get into a little conflict where he just starts wilding, and like I remember like I kind of snap on him. If you know me, good morning. If you know me, you know I don't really I rarely snap on people. I rarely like just black on people. You feel me? Like I don't do that. I try and always keep it composed. But this was one of those moments where like I thought about it after he did some stupid shit, and I was like, yeah, nah, this is the time. Like this is one of those times where like, all right, you're justified. Like I'm not saying I'm justified or I was right or wrong, but I did that shit. I snapped on the nigga, and when I snapped on him, I had like some friends of mine and like this girl that was there, like they kind of like got awkward and like kind of like, you know, they started like walking away. And I'm like, and in my mind, I'm like, I thought about it, right? I got a little reflective in the moment. I'm like, nigga, am I wildin'? But I was also in the mindset of, I've already gotten this far, bro. This nigga got me, like he pushed me, he got me to the point where like now I'm actually pissed off. I'm not fucking wildin', fuck that shit. Like I'm tight. So yeah, pretty much I'm like, I kind of black on him. And then like he takes a second and he stops. And then he's like, yo bro, can I talk to you for a second? I don't know where you from, right? But when someone says that, that usually entails that they want to fight. So when he said, yo, can I talk to you for a second? I stood up very quickly and I was on timing. Like I was okay with the situation going either way. Whether he actually wanted to talk or he wanted to throw hands and feet. So I stood up and we walked to like this corner. So we're on a corner, so I'm like, oh yeah, this nigga want to fight. So like I got my hands to my side, fist balled, ready. And this nigga want to hit me with the, yo, so bro, what was all that back there? I'm like, what? Bro, I was kind of astonished by this, right? Because I didn't expect him to like be so like wanting to like actually talk it out. Because he seemed like serious. And the whole night I seen him acting like a clown. So I didn't think he could be serious. So when he said that shit, I was just like, I was still tight, but I'm like trying to explain, like, yo, bro, like the whole day you've been moving mad weird. Like, and it's one thing if I'm getting pissed off by it, because I have a high tolerance for bullshit. Like, I shouldn't have a high tolerance for bullshit, but I can be pretty patient at times, more patient than I should be. Other people aren't that patient, and you're pissing people off, and you're making people uncomfortable. If you're making the woman around us uncomfortable, you're making people in general uncomfortable. That's when that starts to bother me, because I don't do that, bro. Like, you can do anything, but don't fuck up the vibe of the room. Don't fuck up the group's vibe. Don't fuck up the energy in the room. The second you start doing that, that's when, like, I'm like, all right, bro, you need to chill. We pretty much just go back and forth for a bit, like, just like having a man-to-man conversation. And the more I'm talking to him, the more I realize I'm like, I really do respect him for this, though, because he could have been on some, like, wanting to fight timing, or he could have just, like, tried to, like, shrug it off. But he stepped to me like a man and was like, yo, let's talk about it. That's some man shit. That's some respectable shit. I'm just like, yo, bro, do you not understand, like, social cues? Like, I get that maybe you feel comfortable when the energy is high and when you're being goofy and making all these jokes, but not everyone is like that. And he's like, yeah, I just like to keep the energy up. Like, to me, you come off as very, like, closed off and intimidating. So, like, I wanted to get to know you better. And, like, like, other people were saying the same thing, like, you come off as intimidating. So, yeah, basically, we have a conversation, boom. And he says it in a certain, he's like, yeah, like, you have this very, like, this, like, military, like way you carry yourself, like, oh, you can't do that. And, like, it kind of disarmed me, because I'm a little pissed off. But when he said that, it disarmed me completely. And it kind of made me laugh at myself. Because I'm like, yeah, I do come off that way sometimes. I can come off very, like, that way, like, oh, like, you can't do that, or, like, the party pooper, or, like, oh, like, you fucking, like, I can come off that way sometimes. The Karen. Not in the sense where I feel entitled to complain about shit, but I can come off like, oh, I don't like that they did that. I'm not a fan of that. And it's pretty abundantly clear and very obvious I'm not a fan of that. I'm not good at hiding that. It's kind of funny that when you talk like in circles, or like not in circles, but like when you talk about different shit, and like the more I analyze like the conversation or where I was trying to go with this video, I realized that people are like hypocrites. Like, cause like I got on here talking about how I hate people that have like these views and like ideals in the world where they're not they're like so like certain of things, and like they're like unwavering and shit. But then like the more I talk about it, I'm like, damn, I'm that way. What I really want to say though is like, it's not so much about being unwavering in your opinion, or like being strong and set in stone in your opinion, but I guess it's just like being more understanding.
I do technically still have the video, but I'm not like. Don't worry
No,
about it.
don't.
Yeah.
There's a guy with the camera in his hands like, no.
No.
I can visualize it. That's good.
I don't
No. Content.
Okay, so I just got back home. Like, I literally just finished walking back home. It is already a long video, which I'm probably gonna cut out like a good amount of what the fuck I recorded outside. I don't think I was very clear in what the main message I was trying to, like, the main conclusion I came to while like going through the fucking, like, doing the video that I was doing today. I don't think I made it clear enough what I was trying to say. And what I'm trying to say with everything that I said is when you're thinking, or when you're judging, critiquing, viewing someone, or trying to even understand them, I think, let me make that clear, I think it's best to accurately view them for what they are and what they're trying to say versus what you think they're saying and how you view them. I think that's where people get the most hurt. Like, you hear about all these people in their villain arcs of like, oh yeah, like, fuck that girl, fuck that guy, because they were an asshole, they were a narcissist. Like, that's a fucking buzzword, right? A narcissist, bro. Everyone fucking knows that word. But yeah, you get the point. Like, all these other things. But it's like, bro, a lot of times what really hurts people is not, like, when they get cheated on or, like, anything, it's not the fact that the act itself happened. It's the fact that you thought something else would happen and it didn't. And a lot of times when people get blindsided by people, from what I've observed at least, and from my own experiences, it's because your view of them overpowered who they actually were. So, although you kept trying to put all this shit past them that you thought, like, oh, they would never do that, that was you trying to process or process them in the same way that you process yourself. That's at least how I see it. So yeah, that's the main thing. Because, like, if I look at all the situations that I mentioned, whether it was fucking... Rose, with my friend, we were just having a conversation. That's different. But if I look at my U.S. history teacher or that other dude that I got into a little, back and forth with, if I were to depict them in how I initially viewed them, I wouldn't have an accurate depiction of them. I would just have, like, an angry, and I hope I didn't come off that way, but I'll just have this view of them like, oh, fuck that person. But when you realize, or when you kind of remove your bias and their bias from the conversation and try and understand where people are coming from, you realize that most people aren't ill-intended or ill-intentioned at all. They're very stuck in how they see things. That's just human nature, though, I think. But that's it. Just accurately view people for who and what they are versus how you want to view them. Because, I didn't say this in the story with that guy, but after I kind of had a clear idea of what he was and what he was about, me and the nigga laughed and joked with each other like we were old friends. Like, he was a cool dude. And, he did kind of, give me vibes that he was a bit on the spectrum. But when I knew him, and I started trying to view him in a more accurate way versus how I initially, all these, preconceived notions I had of him. Well, granted, he did put a P in my face and say it was a penis. But you get what I'm saying. When we did fucking talk, and I seen him for who he was, or I started trying to see him for who he was. All that, malice and anger and, all the upset, that shit kind of went out the window. Because I was like, he's just him. And, when a boundary is broken or when something happens, you address it. But he's just him, and I'm just me. And that's most people. Yeah, that's a good ending. I like that ending better. I think this is the ending I'm going to keep. But yeah, that's that.